Yeah, it's shagging. That's another one of those crazy things I do, which the bug bit me, and I love it to death. I still enjoy it as good as ever. Shag dance is like it's a couple dance, and it's done on an 8 count, and you do it to like R&B songs, beach music. Everybody's heard of beach music, so, but maybe not from way off, but it's just a couple dance, and you're on the dance floor and you're just swinging and twirling and stepping, and it's more of a it's more of a male type. It's a male lead dance, and you got you and your partner there, and there's all kind of spins and turns and smooth feet, and but it's to answer your question, it's a partner type dance. If anybody's listening and don't know what shag dance is, they need to go to YouTube and type in shag dance. And some of the greats that I'll tell them to look up and look would be Sam West and another young man named Grayson Smith. That's two of the greats that come to my mind. David Campbell as well. But it's a lot of fun, man, and that's where it was born at, down in Myrtle Beach, North Myrtle Beach.
Yep. So when did you first learn to shag?
Started learning when I was about 19, I believe, man. I had no interest whatsoever in something like that. You see this stuff done at weddings and this and that and other, and you don't think much of it when you're young, like I was. But had a buddy of mine that we were hanging out a lot on the weekends. Jonathan Crumpler, Caegan. And one night he stopped hanging out with us so he could go up to Club Faces, which is up the road in Dunn, North Carolina. It's owned by Irvin Warren, which was big time oil guy down the road. But he stopped hanging out with us and started going up to Club Faces to shag. And I was like, "What are you doing?" And he was like, "Man, you got to learn how to shag. It's awesome." I was like, "Nah, man, I ain't doing that." So one night I agreed to go with him, and he was out having the best time, to be sure, dancing with everybody. And I was just standing around looking. So the next day I wound up going back to Club Faces and started taking lessons. And there again, just like the auctioneer and a couple more things in my life, coaching and everything else, the bug bit. And it's been 95% of my social life since I was 19 years old. Love it.
So what was, when you finally get the bug, like you said, what was the practice and the training like? What did that process look like?
Yeah, I got involved in it, man, and just started enjoying it and started getting a little bit better, a little bit at the time. I wasn't very rhythmic or this, that, and other, but I started getting better because I was so wrapped up. My mind was just totally consumed in it at that point in time. And I realized there was a competitive world in shagging, competitive shaggers association. So I was like, what? So I went to a couple of contests and watched, and they got an amateur division, a novice division, and a pro division. So I was so eat up by the bug, I said, I got to get in this. So when I got in that, it was amazing how much time, effort. I wish I knew how many calories I've spent, how many calories I've burnt practicing shag dance, man. But it's completely consumed my social life for the last 20 years. Competed for about 10 years, which was awesome. And still, my wife Goldie, her folks has a place down at North Myrtle. So we go down. Just last Friday night, we went out to Fat Harold's and got our shag on a little bit, and just love it, man. It's great. And the best thing and the good thing about it is so many nice people around it. Everybody's out to have a good time, and it sort of reminds me of the auctioneering deal. Everybody's out to have a good time. Everything's positive, and the negative in the world just disappears when you're out that night.
So how would you describe the culture that surrounds shagging? Myrtle Beach is kind of the hub, it's where it started, it's always kind of been the center of the universe for shagging. But beyond that, how would you describe like the culture that surrounds shagging?
Shagging, my best friend down at North Myrtle Beach, Alan Campbell, his late wife Lisa, she always said that shagging was a cult.
Yeah, so it kind of is.
And what she meant was just what she meant was it's just such a tight knit. Just like right now, when we go down to the beach, all of our friends are hanging out at the Horseshoe. If you don't know what the Horseshoe is, that's a place right out on the beach in front of Spanish Caegan, which is right out in front of the OD Pavilion. And it's just a tight knit. I tell people all the time, when I used to go compete, we would go different clubs, it might be in Virginia, then you might be in South Carolina, then you might be in North Carolina, you may wind up in Georgia. But it reminded me of NASCAR race. No matter where you were, it was the same people pretty much. It was Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt Jr. It was the same people. It didn't matter if you were in California or Talladega. No matter where you were, it was the same type of people. And all these people are so eat up by this shag bug. And it's just a good time. Everybody's hanging out, lighthearted, great music, great drinks, great fun. Everybody's having a good time and just getting their shag on. And it's so much fun. I love it.
So let me ask you this. What if, shagging music or beach music, Carolina beach music, whatever you want to call it, it's a lot of it is, like the kind of 50s and 60s, like R&B type stuff, the Drifters and the Tams and the, even into the Motown stuff, if you had to pick one song, what is your essential shagging song? What is your essential beach music song?
Oh man, that would be a tough one. Man, there's so many. I could say 1,000 different songs, but one of the things that comes to my mind, one of my favorite things to shag to is actually don't have any lyrics. It's instrumental, and it's Earl Bostic. And it's saxophone playing, and there's something about a saxophone. There's something about a saxophone in a shag song that just, I don't know, it just makes me just want to just dive onto the dance floor. But the guys, it's by Earl Bostic, and he has so many songs, but it's instrumental. There's no lyrics to it. But I'll tell you a couple of the great ones I can think of. Sam Cooke, I'll Come Running Back to You. Think of Floyd Dixon. He has, he's rhythm and blues, R&B, old school shag music. Floyd Dixon, Harmonica Slim. Those are some of the ones I think about. But those ones you mentioned are great too. I'll tell you this, through my shagging career, man, I've seen some great beach music bands, been friends with some of the great beach bands, but watching those guys, Jim Quick, Band of Oz, General Johnson, chairman of the board, Craig Woolard Embers. There's just so much good music, man. It's just hard to pick a great one. But as far as me on the dance floor, something about Earl Bostic just gets me going. I love it.
What, in your opinion, what is the future of shagging? And that Myrtle Beach shag scene, like I talked about, what does the future hold for shagging?
Yeah. Well, when I was 20 years old and just first started going down to North Myrtle Beach, you can imagine some of my friends there at that point in time were a lot older than I was. With some of those guys and gals are, they're slowing down a little bit, just like I am. It's funny you asked that. Every July they have what's called Junior SOS, and that's when they may be 1,000 juniors. This is anywhere from 0 years old to 20. You can't be 20 years old. They all come down, and you have like an SOS, and it's like a great big shag party. And there's all types of workshops and lessons. And what they're trying to do is just get that next generation involved and keep that next generation involved so shag don't die out. But that is at North Myrtle Beach. We're actually going to take Caegan Man down there this year and see if we get him to step around a little bit. But the future of shag is held within Junior SOS, which is a very serious deal down at the beach. And we've taken Ace down there before. I can see him right now with his high tops on and his NC State hat and his NC State shorts and jersey. He was out there trying to step out a couple of steps, but we're going to take Caegan Man again. But again, it's all about getting these younger people involved because, hey, when we all age out, if there ain't nobody under us, it's over. So that's the whole point of Junior SOS.